Hi guys, Coach Gans here. Today's video is actually quite different from the previous ones. We quite like actually with the weather, so we decided actually to get out on the trails and show you how to warm up before you actually get on the bike. Either it's a mountain bike or it's motocross, it doesn't actually matter, because warm up is quite important for any actual sport. So before we actually show you any exercises, I just want to make it clear that the first thing you need to know is about the ramp protocol, and that's because it's quite important to understand why we're warming up. And the second thing that we need to know is actually that warm-up is quite personal. So although I'm going to show you all the exercises, it's quite different for every one of you, because everybody has quite different ways to warm up. The important thing is that basically you should feel absolutely ready before you hit the trails, before you hit the track, because that's the best way to actually perform on your given sport. So the first thing before I show you the exercises, we need to understand the protocol of ramp. So ramp basically means raise your heart rate, okay? So basically raise your body heat. Then the second is activate and mobilize, which basically means activate your muscles and mobilize your joints, which basically will help you to have a good range of motion when you actually ride your bike. And down the line, obviously, you'll have better chances of injury reduction. And the last one is potentiate, basically, which potentiates exactly what the words means, which is make sure that you actually absolutely ready by doing some exercises that will prepare your mind and body ready to hit the trails. R for raise, which means raise your heart rate. So you can either basically warm up on a turbo trainer if you want to. So let's say if you're a motocross rider, you can actually bring a turbo trainer with you, and you can warm up for about 10-15 minutes. Okay, make sure you're doing about zone 2 to zone 3 as you come progressively up your heart rate, and then we move into the activate mobilize. Regarding if you're in a mountain bike, if you're in a race basically weekend, you can use the turbo trainer because it's easier to warm up there. Or if you just want to hit the trails, literally, rather just trying to push the bike up, if the hill is not too steep really, you can actually warm up by cycling all the way up to the hill, and that's the way you're gonna feel much more warmer actually. So regarding now the activate and mobilize, so here's where I'm going to show you now mainly all the exercises. So the first exercise we need to do is obviously the neck, because neck is something that we use a lot on the bike. So a very easy exercise you can do is literally neck rotations, so all the way up, okay? So make sure you're doing this for a good 30 seconds or more, and then the other side obviously as well, okay? So once you finish that movement, the next one is about shoulder rotations and shoulder stretching. So shoulder rotations, literally you can actually do a nice dynamic warm up by just rotate basically the shoulders, either one by one or both shoulders at the same time. Okay, and you're doing this for a good 30 seconds to a minute again. And then to have a good range as well from your chest, you literally just grab your bike and stretch all the way, and then slightly come up again. You might feel as well that you're getting some nice clicks as you're doing that. Okay, so you do this about 10 times, and that's for the shoulders. So the next exercise I'm going to show you now, it's going to be actually an exercise that can warm up pretty much nicely all the body, and that's a squat with a thoracic rotation. And because it's quite advanced actually, I'm going to show you two different variations. So the first one is literally just a squat, okay? So we're doing actually a squat a couple of times. Make sure you warm up actually the whole body, and specifically the legs. And then from there you can literally go down, grab your feet, and then rotate all the way up, and then you're doing the other side. Okay, now that's quite advanced actually, so you can actually do thoracic rotations on the bike, which I will show you in a minute. But before we're doing that, let me show you a bit more in details how you can do thoracic rotations from a squat. So first you go in a squat position, grab your feet, make sure you're absolutely upright, and then from there rotate and stretch up your arm. Then as you finish, do the other side. Okay, that way. Once you finish, come up. Now, how can you actually do different variations if you can't do a squat with thoracic rotation? Literally, you can just sit on your bike, and then from there, just rotate and then with your actual fingers grab the back wheel, and the other opposite arm grab your knee and just rotate that way, okay, and then slowly come back and keep doing that a couple of times, and then you can do exactly the same thing by just using the other leg. So far I actually showed you how to warm up the front side of your body. So it's very important obviously to warm up the back as well, the back side of your body, which is basically your hamstrings, your glutes and your lower back, okay? So the next exercise is quite simple as well. You don't touch down, you don't need to get dirty. All you need to do is basically stand there and just perform a deadlift without a bar. So by doing a deadlift, just go down with nice flat back as much as you can and slowly come up. And as you're doing that, you start basically increasing the range of motion on your hamstrings, all right? Once you do this about 10 times, 15 times, it depends how much you need in order to feel warmer on your hamstrings. And bear in mind that before you're done also a couple of minutes as well on the bike to raise your heart rate, so you should feel already warm. So once you do this, the next thing you can do is just go down, and as you're doing the deadlift, start twisting from the one side and the other side. So literally just grab your feet and keep moving left and right, okay? And as you're doing that, you run up further your hamstrings and your glutes, which also start basically mimic a bit more the way you start gonna move your hips on the bike when you start cornering. Now, one of the last exercises for the activation and mobilization of your body, it will be for your calves and ankles, okay? Which are majorly used basically on both sports. And how can you do that? Easily just grab your bike, and then from there, just stretch first of all the one ankle. So get on your ball of your feet, and then from there, slightly bend the knee and try to drive your heel downwards as you're doing that, okay? And you will start feeling your ankle basically flexing more, and you start feeling more your calf as well. Once you do this about 10 times or more, and you do both legs, the next thing you can do is literally hold again the bike and do calf raises, okay? The reason we're doing calf raises is because we're gonna obviously activate the muscles, the calves themselves, okay? And again, we get the calf raises about 15 reps pretty much, okay? In both legs. The last phase of the run protocol is the potentiate. So in the potentiate, we want to make sure that we are absolutely ready to hit the trails. So this is where we're going to doing basically a bit more dynamic and aggressive exercises. So the first exercise you can do in order to prepare basically the legs ready for that is actually hops on the spot, which basically will start increasing more the elasticity of your ankles through the tendons, obviously. So on that one, all you need to do literally is just jump on the spot, and can do that about 20 times or about 30 seconds, okay? So just by doing that, you'll start basically feeling that you actually getting a bit more switched on. The second exercise is either you can do squat jumps or you can do lunges, jumping lunges, okay? It depends obviously of your balance and your experience on the exercises. So squat jumps basically is quite easy. From there, just basically jump on the spot, and then you jump about 10 to 15 times, okay? Or if you're going to increase a bit more, you know, the difficulty, but also make it a bit more even specific to the mountain biking, you can do basically jumping lunges, which basically you get in there, get down on a lunge, and then jump, alternate leg, and you're doing basically that. And the last one is going to be actually sprints, and that's because this is where you close the session, the warm-up session, and you're definitely switched on after that. And literally it's 30-second sprints by 5 sets, okay? And you have basically only 10 seconds rest between the sprints, okay? So basically it's repetitive, and you can do that either on the turbo trainer if you have a turbo trainer, or literally just jump on your bike and just do it on a flat straight line. So that's it, guys. This video, it was all about warming up actually on the bike, and although a lot of you might think that you look silly actually by doing the warm-up before you drop in on the trails, and you might even be quite conscious about what your friends might think. To be honest with you, I wouldn't care about it, because for me it's more about performance, and make sure that actually I make the best that I can to enjoy myself on the bike. I'm just worrying about if I injure myself, or if I'm not ready to have a good practice day if I'm a racer. So this is some exercise you can do. You can either follow the advice or not. It's completely up to you. But I had a lot of requests about how to, from people basically asking me how to warm up properly on the bike. So I just thought to actually show you how to do it properly. So please let me know if you have any questions by just leaving a comment, or actually you can email me if you want to. And if you like what you watch, make sure you share it with your fellow riders and spread the word. We're trying to help as many people as we can with these videos. And feel free as well to check our website if you want to learn more, if you want to actually have an actual proper structured program. We have online programs for all of you guys, mountain biking or motocross. And obviously once you sign up, you're going to start training with me, so you're going to actually have weekly communication with me. So if you like that, please follow our website, which is olymbuspro.co.uk. And don't forget to follow us as well on our social media, which is Instagram and Facebook. And of course, subscribe on our channel to watch more videos like this one. And yeah, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.